When someone come to me and say, hey, what's my purpose? How do I find my purpose? What am I supposed to do as a human being? The only answer I have to that is, you're supposed to be true to yourself. That's your purpose. There's nothing else. Your purpose is supposed to be true to yourself, because you can only follow your purpose and be your purpose when you are true to yourself. Hello everyone, this is Kevlan, and in today's video I want to talk about our purpose. I want to talk about what it means to me to follow our purpose, and you will see that you don't have to search for anything, you don't have to look for anything or find anything. We have a tendency to say, oh, what's my purpose in life? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to be following or to be doing? I will just share my thoughts on what it means to me to follow a purpose, and you will understand that you do not have to find it, you do not have to search for it, because we are the purpose. And I am going to give you an analogy or an example using nature, because I really, to me, I love nature. Nature is my teacher, nature is our teacher. Everything you see in nature can be applied to your life, can be applied to the invisible part of the world that we don't see. I'm sure you've heard the as above, so below, so it really applies to this, because everything, every phenomena, every patterns you see in nature and the way it works in nature basically works the same for us in our life, and can be applied to our own life or to the things we try to explain that we can see. And to start, I want to talk about a butterfly. Just as an example, I could have used another bug or another animal, but I just want to use an example as a butterfly. So a butterfly, like everything else in nature or everything else in this reality, they have a specific purpose. They are part of a big ecosystem, and the butterfly will contribute to this ecosystem, to the balance of the ecosystem. And if you decide to take a butterfly out of this ecosystem and just take it and create your own environment where the butterfly will thrive in this own environment, you will provide the right food, you will provide the right temperature, the right environment, the right water, everything is perfect. And you're like, okay, I'm going to take this butterfly, I'm going to put it in this container where it will be able to thrive, because I've created all the thriving, all the perfect and the optimal environment for the butterfly to thrive. What you will notice is that after some time, and very shortly after you started to do this, the butterfly is not going to do well, and eventually it's going to die prematurely, much faster than if it would have stayed in his own ecosystem, in his own environment. And then you can scratch your head and be like, okay, I don't really understand, because I created everything for the butterfly to thrive. He had the right food, the right temperature, the right environment, and I don't understand why eventually the butterfly died and so fast. It's because we all come with a purpose, and the butterfly has a specific purpose that is bringing to the entire ecosystem. By being a butterfly and fully embodying and being a butterfly is going to be bringing something to the balance of the ecosystem. And as soon as you take that butterfly out of this whole, the purpose that he has for the whole, the butterfly will die. And I could have used a ladybug, I could have used an animal, I could have used any other type of animals or bugs or insects or even plants or whatever, and repeat the same experiments, and we'll find the same thing. They will all die prematurely as soon as you remove them from their true purpose, which is being part of this big whole and contribute to the whole. So how this example is relevant to us? We're not different. We are exactly, as human beings, we have our own life, our own expansion, our own experiences that we need to experience. But at the same time, we are connected to the whole. We're connected to the whole, so when it comes to nature and this whole reality, but we're also connected to whole human beings. So it means your own story, by being yourself and being your own story, will bring something to the expansion of the whole, to the expansion of the collective consciousness. As soon as you're not following yourself, you're not fully being you, then you're not bringing anything, or you're not bringing what you're supposed to bring to the whole. So it's just as if a butterfly has a very specific function in the ecosystem, and the butterfly decides to wear a mask and he's not going to follow his function because he has all this pressure, all these conditionings, all these traumas and all this fear, and the butterfly is not going to pursue his own function, and as a result of this, the butterfly is not going to thrive, and he's not going to bring what he's supposed to bring for the whole, for the expansion of the whole. And that's exactly where we are as human beings. When someone come to me and say, hey, what's my purpose? How do I find my purpose? What am I supposed to do as a human being? The only answer I have to that is, you're supposed to be true to yourself. That's your purpose. There's nothing else. Your purpose is supposed to be true to yourself, because you can only follow your purpose and be your purpose when you are true to yourself. So now I want you to ask a question. Are you true to yourself every single day when you wake up in the morning? Are you aligned with your authentic self? Are you wearing a mask? Or are you afraid sometimes to show to the world who you really are deep inside? And you have all those layers of conditioning and traumas and fear, and that is preventing you from fully embracing the being you are, fully embracing this authentic self. You know, when you look at, there is a chart where you can actually find, the frequency of each emotion. And someone I share one time and say, authenticity is the highest, is the highest, or has the highest frequency in all the emotions, even higher than love. Why? Because when we are authentic to ourselves, and authenticity doesn't mean you're authentic with other people, it starts to be authentic with yourself, to be truly yourself, that deep inside, and showing to the world who you really are, not hiding anything, not pretending anything, not wearing a mask, but truly be you. That's when we embody the highest frequencies that we can as human beings, because when we are fully authentic to ourselves, we are connecting to our soul, and we are connected to our mission, to our soul purpose. We can only help people when we are truly, fully true to ourselves, when we are truly authentic with who we are. That's, to me, the only purpose. You don't have to search for your mission. You don't have to ask your guide, hey, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to do? What I'm here for? What's my mission in life? Because your mission in life is only to be true to yourself. And, it may sound easy, but when you start thinking about it, are you true to yourself? Like, are you making decisions that are truly aligned with what you want to do or what your heart is desiring? Are you saying no to someone when you don't want to do something, or when your heart doesn't want to do something? Are you fully speaking your truth, no matter how people will look at you, no matter what people will think of you? Are you fully showing to the world your authentic self, and that person that you are fully aligned to your soul, or are you not? And if the answer is not, then I will say then your purpose is this. You don't have to think of anything else. You don't have to ask your guide, because your purpose is to be true to yourself. And only when you're true to yourself, you will start seeing things that everything will start to work in your favor. The universe will start to work in your favor. Everything you do is going to have momentum and really work in your favor. There is a video that I made a little while ago, and I will put the link down below, and also the image in the video where you can see what video I'm talking about. But it's a video where I talk about the soul purpose. And I said, before we come into this earth realm, the soul is basically seeing the purpose on the screen. The soul is living the experience the soul wants to live once it comes and incarnate in the body. So it's just as if the soul is watching a movie and says, that's how I want to experience it, that's what I want to do, that's how I'm going to contribute to the whole, that's how I'm going to help people. But then when we come in this realm, we have this amnesia, and we forget. And then we have all those layers of illusions and the conditioning and the traumas and everything that comes on top of it, and we forget that we are actually here to be true to ourselves, and we are actually here to be fully living what the soul has planned for us. Because when we're true to yourself, that's the only time you're going to be fully living what the soul has planned for you. So if, and I truly believe everyone, doesn't matter if it's millions of people or 10 people, but everyone will have a mission to contribute to the whole. No matter how big is a mission, doesn't matter. But we all have a mission as the same as a butterfly, where we contribute to the balance of the ecosystem. We'll come to contribute to the expansion of the collective consciousness. And we can only contribute to the expansion of the collective consciousness when we bring our unique point of view to the table, when we bring our unique point of view to the collective consciousness. So when we fully live our authentic self, when we're fully true to ourselves, when we're fully aligned with our soul, that's when we can only bring our unique perspective to the whole. When we have all those layers and conditioning and we wear a mask and try to behave like everybody else, like try to follow norms and standards like everybody else, that's when we forget, and now we do not follow our purpose. We don't become a purpose, because again, we're not truly true to ourselves. We're not fully aligned with our soul. And as a result, you're not going to be able to help people or help the collective in the way you're supposed to. So that's something I really want you to keep in mind, is you don't have to search for a purpose. You don't have to find a purpose. You don't have to ask your guides to know what's your purpose. You only have to become true to yourself. And that's when the journey starts, because becoming true to yourself means being able to release and transcend all the fear that are preventing you from being fully yourself. And there is the big majority in this world are not fully living their life as an authentic self. Only a few people are able to get into that, that stage. And that's when I even look at my life. For a very long time, I was not true to myself, just because I had so many fears coming from childhood, coming from, the pressure we get, social pressure we get from this world, the conditioning from my parents and from my ancestral lineage, and so on and so forth. So we all have things that are very creating this illusion and preventing us from being fully true to ourselves. And that's a work. There is no bypassing, there is no, savior coming. That's the work we need to do, is to need to face everything that is preventing you from being your authentic self. And once you start the journey, you will see that the universe is helping you and will provide, because you are starting the journey to become, and the overcoming is a becoming. So all the overcoming, the fear, all the overcoming, the mindset, the conditioning, the emotional traumas, and everything that is preventing us from being who we are, the overcoming process is a becoming process. So that's when you will see the universe is starting to work in your favor, and everything is organizing in such a way that you can, everything works, everything is pushing you toward that direction. And once you become fully yourself, when you start speaking your truth, when you start showing to the world who you really are, you're not pretending, you're not wearing a mask, you are doing what you want to do, what your heart desire, you're focusing on this, that's when you're going to be fully living your purpose. No matter what it will be, everybody has a different way to help people, but that's when you will fully contribute to the life around you, to the expansion of the collective consciousness. And there is no wonder why we live in a world where there is so many sick people, there is so many diseases, there is so many people that are not doing well with health overall. Because again, a disease is a last resort for the universe to show us that we need to become true to ourselves, because we are not contributing to the whole. And everything as a balance, everything as an equilibrium. And when we don't contribute to that, we work against it. So the only way for the universe to show us is, having warning signs and showing us we're not in the right direction, or we need to really start overcoming what is holding us back. And disease is no different. Disease is really one of the last resort that the universe wants to draw our attention that we need to change. And there is no healing without change. So if you are going through a disease, it means you have to change. You have to change the person that, and change between the person that got sick and the person that you need to become to be healthy. So, and that's why we see in nature, if you take a butterfly or any type of animal, you remove them from the whole, from the contribution that they have to the whole, to the ecosystem, they will die prematurely, even if you provide all the right and optimal conditions for that specific species to thrive. It's because it goes above and beyond having the general and the right conditions. Is we are here to contribute to life, to contribute to the expansion, to contribute to knowledge, to contribute to the well-being of everyone and the expansion of every soul on this realm. So if you want to do this, I really invite you to start looking at yourself, looking at what your life is showing you, looking at, or perhaps starting to be the observer of your life, your experiences, what life is showing to you, what part of yourself you need to heal, you need to release, you need to transcend, so that you can fully embody your authentic self and embody the highest frequencies that you can, or you can embody as your own unique being that you are, embodying this unique soul that you are. So that's the message for today. If you want to know more, again, about the science, about what I'm talking a little bit about here, about the soul, about the purpose, about how to start the transformation from the inside out, how to, create this lifestyle where you can, healing is not something you do, healing is a lifestyle, how you can, start releasing and removing all those layers so that you can become your authentic self. I invite you to check out my book on Amazon, The Science of Breaking Free. I'll leave the link down below in the description. If you like this video, if you have any comments, or if you have any questions that you want to ask me, or if you have any topics in mind that you want me to share in the future, please put your questions or your comments down below. Smash the like button if you like the video. Perhaps share the video with your friends and family, or whoever you think can benefit from it, or whoever that needs to have more directions or more understanding of what it is to follow or to be your purpose. And for now, I'll see you in the next one.